What's going on? Jack here, doing my weekly sort of catch up on what I've been reading and how to go, and then what I'm going to be reading for the rest of the week. Today is Saturday. Just trying to get this in before so I can schedule it for Monday. Just giving myself enough time. Anytime I have enough time to film, I got to take advantage of it. So here we are. So what did I read? I finished Stormfront by Jim Butcher. This is the first book of the Dresden Files. Overall, I give it like a flat 3 stars. I did love it though, in a weird way. It's not a good book. That's definitely my review on that. So I was told by a friend I was on the trip with that I should read it. The first 3 books are terrible. But looking into it and like the subject matter of really the story kind of felt like a good pick me up in between longer, more serious books and something you come in, you get full resolution, and you can kind of move on and you can read the second book or the third book or the next book whenever. It's very procedural, like a cop show on TV. I didn't know after I started the first one that the 18th book is coming out, so no guarantees I may get through all of these books, but they're fun. If you've ever seen the USA TV show Burn Notice, it feels very Burn Notice-y. There's definitely things I enjoy about it, just like the simplicity and everything. This actual story that was going on definitely had a lot of points that I didn't love. I do think like one of the negatives I would say about this book is it's the main character just constantly is just like that woman's makeup, like just talks about, like breaks down how attractive every single woman is in the story. It's not really needed. It doesn't help any part of the story whatsoever. That's probably like my biggest downside, and also like the story drags along in bits and places, but it very much feels like you're watching like comfort bad TV that you'd find on like TBS at like 3 in the afternoon, or the USA channel at like 3 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. But I did enjoy it. I'm going to read the second one. This was a book that I got just on my Kindle from the library, so don't have the physical copy. Probably won't ever get any of these books as physical copies, just because of how like easy it is to read. It's not something where I'm going to be like, I want to display it or anything like that. Especially if there's like 18, that'll take up like a smooth entire shelf of these bookshelves, and it's not something I'm hugely in love with. But I have heard once you hit book 4 that they really pick up and become an actual like good series. So we'll see as we go on, but I might mix it in next month. Undecided as a whole. The other book I finished was Kingdoms of Death, Christopher Ruocchio. That's one of my audio listens. Sorry, dog scratching at the door. Kingdoms of Death, Christopher Ruocchio, Sun Eater Book 4. That was one of my audio listens. I listened to that whole series. I'm going to continue to just listen to those. Just because I like the narrator. I ended up buying the first book, and then I had like, it was free on Kindle for a while, just like the first 3 audiobooks. So listen there, and I'm just going to continue on the audio side. Overall, without any spoilers, it's a book 4. It's either my second or third favorite. I think it's my third favorite of the 4 that I've read, which I say it's my third favorite, but it's still like a really, really good book. I give it like a 4.5 out of 5. I think book 2 and 3 are both 5 stars for me. Just because it takes the story and it definitely follows the name of the book, where it's Kingdoms of Death. A lot of death, a lot of things happen to a lot of people, and it definitely takes a bigger turn in the world of like how we're gonna get to the end of when Hadrian, this is not a spoiler, first chapter of the first book, he blows up a sun. It's kind of, how are we gonna get there? You get a bigger idea on like how he gets to like killing billions of people. really loved that book. I'm gonna continue and listen to Ashes of Man, which is book 5, next month, but not rushing into getting that one done. I do have the secondary priorities, which are The Failures, which I did start. I got like a couple pages in last week, but then I just forced my way straight through Stormfront, the Dresden Files book, just before that. About 50 pages in now. I enjoy it. I don't know what's going on. There's different sort of factions of characters so far. Really enjoying it. I like the writing style, but I can't really judge the actual like plot or the story yet. But the world seems very interesting. The characters have definitely different personalities that I can figure out which ones I'm gonna like. I already know 2 characters I hate, and it's not because they're like bad people. I just don't like their vibe or anything like that. I just don't like what's going on in their area of this world. But I'm excited. This is gonna be a longer read. I think I'm gonna finish this like right at the end of the month, just because I'm taking it just like a chapter or 2 a night. They're shorter chapters, but just because all I've heard is this is confusing, I'm like taking notes. I've never done that with a book, just because when there's like a lot of groups and factions of people with multiple POVs, I don't want to get things confused, especially in like fantasy books where names aren't like normal names you run into in the real world. So I really want to be careful not to get confused there. That was a struggle I had with Malice by John Gwynne, which I'm going to restart. I got halfway through it and I was like, I'm not positive who's who. I didn't pay attention enough while reading that one. So I think that was my fault. I want to read that in the next month or so, because I do have all 4 of those books on the Kindle. Everything I heard about it, I was like, oh, I'm going to love this. And I bought all 4 books, and then I still haven't been able to get through the first one. So that's one I do want to get to shortly. And then the other book I'm reading, which is on the Kindle, is, got it from the library, Black Mouth by Ronald Malfi. I decided for that one instead of Come With Me, which is the one I have on a physical copy, just because I heard great reviews, and I opened up the library app and I was like, oh, I wonder how long I could have to wait for this, and it was like, you can have it right now. So I was like, all right, cool. I can come back to Come With Me at a different date. But that one, I'm about 80 pages in as well, like not super deep into that one, but I really like it. I haven't read Ronald Malfi before. I really like his writing style. It's dark, it's got some creepy stuff going on, which I really missed. I read a lot of horror for a long time, kind of stepped away, so really excited to get that one going. And then the final thing is, gotta read some manga. Haven't turned a page since the last update, but I think tonight is gonna be the night where I read like 2 or 3 chapters of that and try and get at least like close to halfway done with that edition, which is the 20th Century Boys Volume 2. Those are my big updates there on what I'm reading. And then what I'm thinking about doing for just other videos is I want to do individual breakdowns of non-spoiler, like why you should read the book, and then go into spoilers. So I do have Pines, which was the Blake Crouch book, part of the Wayward Pines. I want to do a video for that, as well as maybe Hyperion and Stormfront. I don't think I'm going to do Sun Eater. Maybe I'll do like a recap once the final book comes out in November and I read that. Just go through like the entire series of why you should read it and how it ended and everything like that. But I feel weird starting a video series of books I finished and just be like 4 I just finished, and then try and go backwards to 1 through 3 as well. So that's videos I want to do coming up shortly. And then I think I've decided I want to do like a reading vlog of Malazan. Everything I've heard about it, Malazan is supposed to be like the best out there, except for it's really hard to read. So I think that would be a good way for me to like, one, keep everything in order, as well as like understand and try and like actually vocalize every part of the book to make sure like saying it out loud I can understand, and maybe other people want to join in a handful of chapters and like a 5-minute video or something like that. So those are the things that are going on right now. Thanks for watching. let me know if you have any sort of book suggestions, and like and subscribe. Thank you.